All right, welcome back to the channel. That's a gigantic hole in a piston. It's pretty amazing. Everything else looks pretty good except for some shrapnel in here. The cylinder wall is not that great. There's a couple of decent scratches in it and some big dents up in here. Nothing a 20 over piston wouldn't fix, but who knows if this is cracked or not. It might be cracked. But so it turns out it lost the exhaust valve, and that caused the intake valves to bend. So there's a gigantic hole. There's I don't know if you can see it, but there's some shrapnel in the exhaust pipe. That's cool. And this is the cylinder head. So all these other chambers look pretty good. They are pretty wet, but I think what happened, there was a bunch of oil around the intake runner when I pulled the manifold off. So I think when the piston blew a hole in it, got a big burst of oil vapors that came up through the intake manifold because there's metal chunks in the intake manifold, and I think it got sucked into the other cylinders. So I think that's why these are all kind of wet looking. I don't see anything weird about the patterns of the burn or anything like that. It's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. But obviously we lost an exhaust valve, and there's the stem right there, just snapped right off. So I don't think it's piston to valve clearance. Otherwise, the rest of these valves would all have little marks on them, and so would the pistons. Obviously, the intake valves got wrecked because the exhaust valve broke. So now that's a pretty clean snap on that exhaust stem. It just snapped right off. So one of my theories is that possibly the valve was set up too tight in the guide. Some of these were, a few of them, and I wish I would have noted which ones they were, but I had a couple of valves, and one of them was an exhaust valve that when I installed them, when I assembled the heads, I had to twist and push to get it to go in the guide. So that's not really normal. But I was assured that the tolerances were okay, so I went with it. But not really sure. Also, I had a couple of exhaust valves that had kind of a narrow contact patch on the seat, and that can cause heat transfer issues between the exhaust valve and the head, and that's how the exhaust valve gets cooled a little bit, is by some of the heat transfer that happens between the valve and the seat. So, and here you can see the metal chunks down the exhaust pipe, all kinds of oil and metal parts. That when I picked up the head from the car, it all the crap went rolling down the exhaust tube into the exhaust. So anywho, that's it. No idea what we're gonna do now. Replace the motor, put new pistons in it, not sure. So anyways, we'll see you next time. So I'll be honest, guys, I don't have a clue what I'm gonna do. At this point, the bottom end has to be rebuilt. Essentially, I can replace one piston, but at this point, why bother just doing one? The car's got 100,000 miles on it. So the cost of building a bottom end is not cheap. I can buy a used motor, but you never know if those are going to be good or not. I can buy a rebuilt motor, but I don't know how long that'll last. I can coyote swap it and spend $6,000-$7,000 to coyote swap it. I can sell it as a roller, get something else. I don't know. It's a mess. I'll be honest. I have no idea what I'm going to do. But this really, really sucks. So, anyways. Probably won't see any car content for a while. And pretty bummed. This is getting into road race season right now, and I was looking forward to racing with my friends this season, and did a bunch of upgrades to the car, getting ready to race it. And now I have no idea what I'm going to do with the car. So this is pretty disappointing. All right, we'll see you next time.